Hey everyone, back again. Welcome back to the video review. This time, we're going to be taking a look at the much anticipated film of the year, Sodor's Legend of the Lost Treasure. Can I just say something right now? It's just crazy. It's absolutely amazing. I don't know what to say, but this film is just awesome. But before we get into the review, obviously I want to mention there is going to be some spoilers in the film. So if you haven't seen the movie already at this point, then I would recommend you stop at this point because I'm going to be reviewing the film. Anyways, so essentially the movie starts off with Thomas racing Birdie again. I think it's like the third or fourth time he's done it. But then Birdie gets blocked in the way by Oliver the Excavator. And my God, I'm going to talk about the characters that appeared in the film at the end, but it was so cool to see them. But basically the whole plot is basically, after that Birdie tells Thomas and Annie and Clarabelle that a new branch line's being built from Arsborough to Harwick, which is pretty cool. So basically what happens after that, is we get to see the construction site going on, and we get to see Donald and Douglas in the film. And man, it's so awesome it was so awesome to see Donald and Douglas in CGI. It was pretty cool. We haven't seen them in a very long time. Duck actually mentions that in the film. But anyways, so basically doing construction, but the next day Thomas is lazy, and Gordon kind of is basically name calling. And essentially what happens is, well, Thomas pushes the express coaches off the rails, and Sir Topham Hatt is angry with him. I'm going to talk about Sir Topham Hatt as well, because you'll see what I mean. But basically, Sir Topham Hatt pretty much sends him to work at the construction site while we get to introduce to one of the two new characters, or a few new characters that we see in the film, Ryan. See, Ryan is a very cool little figure, or little character. He's big tank engine, but he looks a lot like Arthur to me. But anyways, Ryan is essentially assigned to look after Thomas's branch line while Thomas goes and helps the engines out on the construction site. But along the way, Thomas actually meets the three small railway engines, Rex, Mike, and Bert. Oh my God, I was giddy when I saw them, because prior to that, we saw them in the books. The Railway series books. It was just amazing. It was just so cool to see Rex, Mike, and Bert in CGI. It was so cool to see them. And they had a significant role in the film. I'll get to that later. But basically, Rex, Mike, and Bert cheer Thomas up after Thomas pretty much upset with what Topham had put him through, and Gordon essentially, and they just cheer him up. At the construction site, Thomas collects some rails. But earlier, but prior to that, Donald is stopped by the workmen when Mary and Oliver, the excavator, and the pack discover there's a crack in the ground. So they have to block off the line. Unfortunately, Thomas is not warned, which he actually points out. Obviously, crashes through the sign, takes down the mine to an extreme level by going down the hole, and he gets trapped at the bottom. However, he finds a very old pirate ship, which is pretty cool. After he's lifted, Topham Hatt sends it to the works, and actually, it's really funny. Hold on, I'm just jumping all over the place. But basically, Thomas hits the steamworks and tells Victor everything, and Victor's like, everything's gonna be fine, whatever. But then Edward comes in and says, oh, Rocky found the pirate ship, but actually Thomas did. But anyways, that's basically silly. Everything that was originally credited was given to Thomas at the end, so it's not a big deal anyways, so the pirate ship's found, it's put on display. However, we get to see the main antagonist at this point, Sailor John. And basically, Sailor John is after the treasure with his sailboat Skiff. And Skiff is a very cool character. He's just... Anyways, I'll get to the characters in a minute. But basically what happens is Sailor John spies on them, and he actually, Thomas, one night encounters Sailor John. They pretty much try to find the treasure, doesn't work. And the second time, they just dig around all over the place, and they can't find it. So, basically at this point, Thomas pretty much, after he goes to Steamworks, he's not repainted. He's just basically beaten up from the fall. But Ryan is sent to go get some dynamite. However, he takes some bad coal that Thomas took earlier when he took some other stuff and whatever. Anyways. So what happens after that, after Thomas pretty much doesn't tell Ryan everything, doesn't tell Ryan about the bad coal, he pretty much, the bad coal actually sets the dynamite on fire. And actually, Marion, Alfie, Jack, and Oliver play hot potato with the dynamite. And that was pretty funny, but in real life, excavators would not do that. They just pretty much go kaboom. So, in real life, Alfie and Jack would have not have survived. Basically, they throw the dynamite back in the car, and Mary and Thomas shoved the dynamite away and put it into the block cavern. So Topham Hatt, by this point, is furious. Like, he is absolutely furious at Thomas. He goes rage quit on Thomas, tells him to go to the sheds and whatever, and pretty much leaves everyone else in a bit of a distraught mess. Anyways. But basically, the next time around, however, when Thomas encounters Sailor John while taking some garbage to the waste dump, Sailor John questions Thomas and says, "Look, where's my treasure and all that?" But Thomas says that, "Look, it's in the..." Because when Marion found the treasure earlier, and Thomas did as well, it was put in Sir Topham Hatt's office in a safe. So pretty much, Thomas shunts Skiff out of the way, and pretty much that's the end of that. So after that, what happens is, well, obvious stuff. Well, basically after that, what happens is, sorry, I'm getting a little anxious here, but basically what happens, I gotta stop saying that a lot. Basically, what really happens is Thomas drops his load off at the dump and sees Topham Hatt on the phone, whatever, and plans to spend the night at Nafford. Then later he sees Sailor John just put a stick of dynamite in Topham Hatt's office, blows it up, steals the treasure, takes off with it, but actually scares Henry as well as he passes by. So Thomas pretty much, well, Sailor John has a bit of a head start. Thomas he comes back from his slow fire, goes after Sailor John, is unable to chase him, but however, he's able to successfully pretty much rotates Skiff around, and man, it just... I thought he was going to knock him off the rails, but no, he just spun him around. But basically, he knocks him in the water, but then, thanks to a wave, it knocks Sailor John over and capsizes Skiff. But unfortunately for Sailor John, loses the treasure, but thankfully he is defeated by the police and captain when they're able to arrest him, which was pretty epic. And Rocky is able to save Thomas. At the end, however, Topham commends Thomas for his hard work in discovering the ship and the treasure, whatever, gets his branch line back again, and then Thomas is rewarded with opening or cutting the ribbon to the now finished route to Arlesborough and Harwick, and yeah, that's the end of the film. All in all, this was an amazing film. We get to see the pack. Well, we get to see Alfie and Jack. Well, we saw Jack mostly in CGI, but seeing Alfie, Oliver, the excavator, Max and Monty, Donald Douglas in CGI was pretty cool. And I think what really topped it off, two things. During the song sequence with Mike, Rexbert, and Thomas, we get to see a little cake with the 70th anniversary, because it's the 70th anniversary, obviously, of Thomas. It's just so cool. And we also get to see the Reverend W. Awdry make a cameo appearance in the film. And actually, the Awdry family had to consult with HIT when they decided to do this. But all in all, that was so cool seeing the Reverend W. Awdry in this special. It was just epic. The new characters, Ryan, he was very cool. I thought he was going to be more of an arrogant kind of character based off of Thomas Wooden Railway's interpretation of the character. Oh, I wouldn't say interpretation, but his version of it. I'm just saying, Thomas Wooden Railway. Sorry, if you're watching this, I'm just saying this just because your character, the way you do Ryan in your series is amazing. I mean, I don't have the new characters at the time of this recording, but man, Ryan was very cool, and the way he stopped the pirate ship was pretty epic. Seeing Skiff was pretty epic as well. A railboat / like sailboat was pretty darn cool. And seeing him carry the children at the end was pretty good, because I imagine he didn't want to stick around with Sailor John at all. Are we going to see Sailor John again? I don't think we will. And obviously the treasure was recovered at the end, which was pretty good. So hopefully we get to have an episode like dedicated to it. Also seeing Daisy the Diesel rail car was so cool. At the end was pretty epic. So we get to see a lot of stuff. Hopefully we get to see more original Railway series characters like Boko and Bertram, Smudger, Duke, and all those. We need to see those guys in the future and in future specials. But all in all, it was so cool. And also seeing Mike, Rex, and Bert, the three little engines from the Arlesdale Railway, was pretty darn cool. And the way they were able to stop the ship as well with Ryan was pretty cool, knocking the ballast trucks into as a nice little break, which was pretty cool. But all in all, this was an amazing special. I don't think you'll be disappointed by it, and it's a highly recommended film, and I think it surpasses all the other specials. Does it edge Thomas the Magic Railroad? Maybe. Does it edge Colonial Legends by 2-3 miles? Yes. The Great Discovery, little bit. Here Are the Rails, just little bit. Missy Island Rescue, possibly. Day of the Diesels, obviously. Blue Mountain Mystery, obviously. King of the Railway, they're even, I find. And Tale of the Brave, which was, I think, those three, King of the Railway, Tale of the Brave, and Legends of the Lost Treasure, were pretty equal in my opinion. But all in all, I would highly recommend checking out this film. You will not be disappointed by it, and it's a very epic way to celebrate Thomas the Tank Engine in this way. Oh, and quickly I want to mention Sir Topham Hatt. His anger is so, anyways. I've already commented on some videos, like, he should have been more reasonable with Thomas than ever, rather than just go rage quit on Thomas. It's just so, anyways. There should have been other ways to deal with the anger and Topham Hatt. I'm not saying, anyways. I'm not trying to be so callous or whatever. Anyways, guys, great film, highly recommended. I don't think you'll be disappointed by it. So yes, that is my video review of the Sodor, the new Thomas and Friends special, Sodor's Legend of the Lost Treasure. I'll see you all very soon. I'll be back as soon as possible with my next video. And yeah, so take care, see you soon, have a good day, and I'll catch you all later. Bye-bye.